And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for yourself.
We are the last Americans. We are the last Americans. We are the last Americans.
What is up, everybody?
Oh, the P. Diddy is a P. Diddler.
Man.
Yeah, dude. He's getting raided. He's getting ransacked.
Yeah, and this just, like, it happened a little while ago, right? Like a few hours ago when they raided his house. Well, when this is being recorded. Let's put that out there.
Okay, yeah. To
When
be,
this-
clear. But
Yeah.
yes, on Monday afternoon, P. Diddy's two homes got raided. He has one in Los Angeles and one in Miami.
Oh, both of them did.
So they were both getting raided today.
Hmm.
And yes, it looks to be like they're going after this guy's ass.
Yeah. I mean, there had to have been, and I mean, unless it's a Trump situation, they had to have had something that made him want to go in there, right?
Well, yeah. So like, and that's another thing too, is like you had this massive, like the Moscow massacre that happened over the weekend, like on Friday, over 137 people dead, right? From the 4 gunmen who went into the theater over in Moscow.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now you have Sean Puff Daddy Combs. His house is getting raided. So, I mean, that's the story right now that's just flooding the news. And so it's kind of just overwashing everything. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're trying to kind of distract from that story, but it's unfortunate because that was a huge story, dude. 137 people fucking killed.
Yeah, that was a big story. I don't know if this is, I don't think this is going to be a distraction.
No, this has been brewing for a while.
Yeah, because when it first came out that he was involved in some sketchy shit, it was like a couple months ago, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I did want to, let's just pull up this InfoWars article because this kind of culminates all the stuff that's been going on here.
Yeah.
It's a nice kind of just summary of what has been Diddy do it. Sean Combs' homes in LA, Miami simultaneously raided by Homeland Security.
Oh, so it wasn't even like they had him going at different times. It was, we have to do this the exact same time.
Wow, way to pull that off, Homeland Security.
Yeah, right.
That's coordinated. That's like dancing. You know what I mean? They should go on. What's that dancing show?
Oh, Dancing with
America's
the Stars.
Got Talent or some shit. I don't know. Well, Dancing with the Stars. Yeah. So yes, the two homes were raided, and the reason why they were raided is because Sean Puff Daddy Combs is under federal investigation into sex trafficking, sexual assault, and solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms. Yes.
Not good.
Yeah, and so here's a video. We can play like the embedded video of Chief Nerd.
Yeah.
And just to kind of show everybody the footage of the raid.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Oh, whoops. Why did I go to you?
Oh, no. I'm not Fox News.
There we go.
All right.
Again, wouldn't say that they are arrested. We don't know that for a fact. They took them into custody. A few of them still had cuffs on. Some of them didn't. So maybe this was a division of, these are people that we know work here. These are people that may be associated with Sean Combs. So, or Bad Boy Entertainment. So it's one of those type of situations. And until they know who they are, they're just going to keep them in custody and possibly just let them go later on. And I don't believe the word arrested has been used out here as of yet. But again, still very active situation. And of course, that is a huge house. And they've got a lot of rooms to clear before they allow those investigators in.
Yeah, that's just one of the houses. That is a huge freaking house.
That is a huge house. But I don't think the word is ear-arrested.
Oh, yeah? It was ear-arrested.
I don't think it actually
ear.
said they've been ear-arrested. Well, that's not a word, so.
Well, they're just getting excited, man. Like they're bored. It's like 24 hours a day you're trying to report news and you're just like, oh shit, something happened.
So my question is, whether he's guilty of any of this or not, that remains to be seen, right? But obviously there's suspicion of things. That's why they're raiding the house.
Yep.
And now it had just come out that apparently he had flown to the Caribbean.
Yes.
Today.
Yes. So that was another thing too.
Literally right before all this happened, he fucking jumps on his plane and takes off.
Well, we don't know. So that's the thing is we don't know if he was arrested during the raid. We don't know if he was on the plane.
That's true.
His jet was
left
definitely
the country.
confirmed to be in the Caribbean island somewhere, right?
Yeah, they tracked it all the way from the airport in LA or whatever to the Caribbean.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. I am going to bookmark a video. This is brand new footage. This is breaking out of raw alerts 4 minutes ago.
Okay.
New video shows Sean Diddy Combs pacing around the Miami airport after federal agents raided both homes. So check out the bookmarks here.
He was pacing.
So yeah, this is just some kind of captured photo.
TMZ
see him where
obtains brand new video. How did all of a sudden TMZ has video of this?
Dude, TMZ is the one that's jumping on this. That's where I first got the report that he was being raided.
This is him just walking around. He's not pacing.
Apparently, he wasn't
cuffed. You wonder what's going to happen next, Diddy. And then.
Oh, there he goes.
Who's talking?
I don't know.
So yeah, this was coming after reports that Diddy fled the United States on his private jet. So the jet had been tracked to the Caribbean by multiple outlets, but according to eyewitnesses, Diddy and his crew were stopped by Homeland Security federal agents or law enforcement at the Miami Opa-locka Executive Airport around 6 p.m. Eastern time. They reported that he appeared to be aboard of a separate private jet. So he was trying to trick him out. You know
so
what I mean?
he launched his one of his jets and was on a completely different one.
Yes. And he's like, I'm going to send this one to the Caribbeans. Meanwhile, I'm going to sneak out the back door to this other private jet. Yeah, dude. So
then the question is, did he get a tip that this raid was going to happen and he ran?
Oh, probably. Absolutely. Yeah.
Or is it just happenstance that he happened to be going somewhere at the same exact time?
Nope. I mean,
nope.
If everything's that coordinated, dude, think about it. The raid happened both at the same time.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird that TMZ was the first one kind of on the case too. You know what I mean? I mean, Fox 11 was the one in the air with the helicopters and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Reporting it. I did have another video in the bookmarks. Oh, okay. So you had the video of the airplane kind of going.
Yeah, there's oh, Jesus. Mute that. This is the video of somebody screen recorded him, the tracking of his plane or something. But it does a weird fucking 360 loop there for a second. I don't know why. I don't know why it does that.
Oh, well, it was a Boeing, so you never know. Yeah. Maybe one of the flaps fell off or something. So
and then it's just a fucking a straight shot to the fucking Caribbean, dude.
Yeah, let's get that out of here. Get the F out of here.
Was it a Boeing?
But actually,
it was.
I think
it was a private jet.
No, I don't think it was a Boeing, dude. I was just making it up. But it
was a Gulfstream G550 N1969.
Whatever. Who gives a shit? I mean, it didn't have P. Diddy on it. That's all everybody cares about.
I did notice one thing though. I seen another fucking picture. I don't remember if I bookmarked it or not. Maybe not. Do you know what the fucking name of the LLC he has for this jet?
Yeah, it's called Love Plane or something.
Love Air LLC.
Love Air, dude. Yeah.
And he's going down for this shit, and his LLC is Love Air for his plane.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's just like Jeffrey Epstein, dude.
Yeah, right? Come on.
But I do have a funny video is kind of making fun of this, the Tom Brady video right there. Someone said, here's what R. Kelly would look like when Diddy walks into prison. And it's a funny video of Tom Brady peeking around behind him. He's going,
oh yeah.
This is R. Kelly right here, everybody going, oh yeah, Puff Daddy's coming in here. Look at him. Come on. I just thought that was hilarious.
God.
But I don't know, man. Like going back to this article. So you had this video circulating online while the raid was happening. Guns were drawn. People were being pulled out of this place. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, they said in the video that a bunch of people had handcuffs on.
Yes. It was raw alerts. Here, I'll try to find the video, but they had actually people like being dragged out in cuffs. Yes, here we go. Here, I just bookmarked it. So this is saying, yeah, the Homeland Security, they were raiding the rap. So like they were pulling multiple people out of the P. Diddy's residence and all that stuff. Looks like I've never seen somebody be pulled out of a home like this. Watch this. Like the hands are above, like kind of like when you put your hands behind your head,
yeah.
But they're walking backwards with them. I've never seen that.
Yeah, that's weird.
Right? Wouldn't you just be like, okay, walk forward with your hands above your head? I don't know.
What the hell?
Yeah. Very bizarre.
Yeah, I've never seen that either. I wonder if that's like, it's like a safety tactic.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah,
like, you know.
Oh, by the way, Dave's here.
Yo,
what up, dude?
What up, dudes?
You can move the Batman if you want.
We're just going through this article talking about the P. Diddy raid, dude.
Okay.
His house got raided.
It's nuts.
And then
Yeah, because he's a fucking rapist.
And then suspiciously, right before, his plane flew to the Caribbean.
Yeah. Have you been following any of this, Dave?
No. I mean,
It literally just happened a few hours ago.
I brought up the other day. It was a couple episodes ago where people were talking about the case was getting released, and yeah, the guy's fucking sick, dude.
Yeah. So apparently his L.A. home and his Miami home, they were both raided at the same time. They went in, guns drawn. They took all these people out. P. Diddy was not there, and P. Diddy's private jet was reported to be landed in the Caribbean. And so people are like, well, did he leave the country? Did he flee? Oh. And so like they didn't know where he was. But now we just saw newly released photos of him. He was walking back and forth. He wasn't in handcuffs or anything. He was at a separate airport where they said that he was about to get on another private jet that wasn't his. It didn't clarify whether it was his or not, but he was going to get on a different private jet. So it's like he almost sent his private jet as a decoy to the Caribbean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mentioned earlier, too, that the LLC for his jet is Love Air.
Yeah. Love Air.
Love Air
Just like,
LLC.
What was Jeffrey Epstein's? Lolita Express?
Yeah, Lolita
Express.
I mean, this guy's in trouble, man. He's in trouble. He's in trouble.
Yeah, this is not fucking good.
Yeah, but he's always...
It's not, dude.
Dude, since the very early days, man. I remember, like, when he first came out. In fact, that song popped up on my feed the other day when I was listening.
Which one?
I was listening from hits from 97.
Oh,
okay, with my kids. And his song that I Miss You or something, when Notorious B.I.G. died, he put out that song.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll Be Missing You. And I would just remember, I told the girls, my kids, I was like, I remember when they died, right? When Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. died, MTV did this big thing and I remember that guy, I was like, yeah, that guy made so much money off Biggie's death. And then there was always that tie of like, did he kill Tupac, or was there something involved with Tupac? The guy's been shady since the beginning, man. And quite honestly, he was never that talent. I mean, he obviously had hits, but he wouldn't have been anything without those other two guys. And he succeeded because they were no longer in the picture. You know what I'm saying?
Well, dude, it's funny because like we're going through this article. I wanted to go through this article because it kind of sums up what's going on right now. And at the end of it, there's some videos of P. Diddy and Justin Bieber, and they're pretty revealing. I don't know. It's just different. It's weird. It makes you feel kind of uncomfortable knowing what you know now.
Yeah.
But like right below that video that was embedded there, Chris, where we kind of left off.
Yeah.
So Combs has been accused of several crimes, including the one that was lodged by an anonymous woman who claims that he and two friends sexually assaulted her when she was 17. And Combs filed a motion to have this case thrown out. 3 other women have accused Combs of sexual assault after his ex, a singer known as Cassie, sued him last November.
Yeah.
And she said that the most recent accuser said that after being supplied a copious amounts of drugs and alcohol, Diddy and two pals took turns violently, having sex with the teen as she drifted in and out of consciousness, leaving so much pain, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah.
It's like the Hollywood MO. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And right here, dude, right here, in harrowing detail, she described in her suit how Combs allegedly demanded that she pinch his nipples throughout the attack to help him, quote, get off before pulling up a chair to watch her being
I don't like
raped.
You don't like nipple play?
I don't mind for me, but not getting it done to me. I don't like people grabbing my nipple. It's weird. Like when the titty twisters, never like that. You know what I mean? This is weird.
Well, men's nipples are different.
I know.
Titty twisters was meant to be just painful.
I know, but
exactly.
I know, but you ever
it's not pleasurable. No one's grabbing your tits to.
But you ever
come
maybe
on,
not
dude.
us as friends. We didn't really do that. But you ever been around somebody or and they come up and they just grab your boob, grab your nip? I'm just like, what the fuck you doing? I feel like it's don't do that. It's a weird thing for me. It's like toes.
It's
nipples
kind
and
of
toes.
tender for you, Dave, right? Because you had
my
those
nipples
piercings.
Yeah, my nipples are fucked up, dude. God, they split. They filleted those nipples.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, did one rip out?
Well, yeah, I ripped both of them out. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. So,
ouchies. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
P. Diddy really likes his nipples tugged. Okay.
Good for him. Good for him.
But Combs, or Cassie was saying that this is a quote. Combs physically abused her and forced her to have sex with male prostitutes while he masturbated and recorded the encounters. This was according to NBC News. And the case was settled the day after it was filed. So this case just went away. And then in February, Combs was accused of sexual misconduct by a male music producer, Rodley Lil Rod Jones, who sued him over allegations that Combs grabbed his genitals.
Grabbed his rod.
Without consent.
Grabbed his little rod.
Yep.
Yeah, he grabbed his little rod. And also that he tried to groom Mr. Jones into having sex with another man, telling him that it was, quote, a normal practice in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
The New York Times reported this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's other stuff. We talked about this the other day, right? Where there's just TV and movie celebrities now coming out saying this is positions that I've been tried to be put into and able to get a role or get something like that. And they're either not doing it and then their career goes away or they do it.
Well, and Dave Chappelle has been open about black men specifically, where they want these black men to get in dresses. They want them to get in drag, kiss other men. Mm-hmm. And you've heard the rumors of Will Smith, taking it up the behind.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of rumors about Puff Daddy even a year ago where people were claiming that they walked in on him having sex with other men, that they showed up to a party and he came out with another musician. I can't remember who it was, but he came out just with a towel around each other, and so listen, Hollywood's fucking weird. And I'm not trying to be rude to anybody's gay, but the gay culture, right? It's just as prevalent in the rap culture as anything else. I think with that culture in the rap industry, it's less, I would say that it's less accepted. You know what I'm saying? Because the rap culture to me is not, I feel like it's a tough culture. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a tough guy culture, gang culture, at least back in the day.
It's black culture historically not okay with the gays.
Well,
right?
it's just, yes, you're right. Yeah.
Because they're very religious. I'm just saying, historically, when you look at it from a, race versus religion versus, sexual orientation, it's not very, they're looked down upon.
It's viewed
right?
Differently than in other cultures. Yes, for sure. But
Right?
I'm talking about is if you look at the 90s, look at NWA, look at Ice Cube or, any of those, Tupac, Notorious B.I.G., the whole, East West Coast thing, the gang violence.
It's hard to be a gangster when you're sucking someone's dick.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. That culture is.
I'm hard.
Yeah.
I'm rock hard. You know what I mean?
You just flash signs with your dick sucked. Whatever it is.
You got a dick in your mouth, but then you got a gun pointed at someone.
Yeah.
I
don't think when you look at what like the rap culture was portraying, the toughness that was behind rap culture. I just don't think, when you look at Lil Nas X today, most people wouldn't consider that's not real rap, dude. That's not real like hip hop. That's nothing. Like that's not what it's about. I just think that's what the culture was. I think it still is to some extent. So Puff Daddy hiding it, it's not shocking.
Yeah. Dude, I have another clip on the bookmarks, and this goes back to the Cat Williams interview with what's his nose? The football player.
Oh yeah.
Shannon Sharp.
Yes. Where he was kind of calling this back in January, saying like all of these big names are going to be coming down. And it's like, I don't know what to think about Cat Williams. I think he's kind of full of shit.
I don't think so. I got to be honest with you.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. He's been around. Listen, all I'm saying is this. He's been around for a very long time. Okay. He was very prevalent. I would say he's less prevalent now than he was before.
Yeah, probably.
There was a period of time where he's very
But
big.
even now, like for his stand up and stuff, he does fucking stadiums and stuff.
He does. But
well, maybe I just haven't heard like the specifics from his clips, but every clip that I hear from him, and I even listened to the whole Joe Rogan, he was very vague on what he knows. Unless he's talking about pyramids and stuff.
Well, let's be real. Like, first of all, I feel like a lot of times these celebrities come out and make kind of claims. They're very slight about it. You know what I'm saying? Like even even certain people, like what's that fucking weird guy's name that has the band? It's on tour with Limp Bizkit right now. You know what I'm talking about? The fucking Michael Jackson wannabe. You know what I'm talking about?
Fucking
Stand With Me guy. You know, who's big
Stand
child
With Me.
Or Stand By Me. Is that what it was? What was that movie that he was on?
Oh, that's not who I was thinking of.
Come on, Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman.
Yes.
What I'm saying is listen to Corey Feldman throughout the years. I don't know why that was hard. Listen to his
Corey
interviews.
Feldman, for sure.
Remember that one where he wouldn't say much, but the guy's like, well, can I show you a picture and you can tell me if it's him? And he's like, yeah, that's him. Like he doesn't say who it is. Yeah. He doesn't talk. Listen, I'm just saying like,
but
maybe,
even Corey Feldman's kind of like hard to believe.
Okay,
right?
but
he
here's
kind
the
of
thing.
fell off as far as like a legitimate source.
Is he? Because here's my opinion. I feel this way about Cat. Corey Feldman's been around since he was a child. He was around Michael Jackson. All right. He claims that Michael Jackson never did anything. Okay. But he's also been
Cat Williams claimed that Michael Jackson did do stuff.
Sure. Okay. But here's the thing. I don't know the details. I'm not trying to get that gritty. I'm saying both of these men, okay, have been in the game for a long time, and they probably have. We've seen and heard younger actors who talk about like, man, the crazy shit that I've seen at parties, right?
Yeah.
You don't think these guys have seen the most insane shit you've ever seen?
Oh, yeah.
So why would I not believe it?
Yeah, they're probably offered.
And they also know, and I'm sure with the Illuminati and other shit's going on, you don't think that they know what the consequences of saying names or saying certain things? Like,
for sure,
that's all I'm saying.
And I get that. But it's like, why even go there then? You know, like if there are that consequence of like you getting your throat slit or something.
Okay, but hear me out.
Why even say anything?
Why do we talk about things as a podcast and have to like refrain from saying rape? We have to say grape. We have to like, oh, we can't talk about that. We have, right?
Well, no, but he could just be like,
yeah, but listen,
I think that's all baloney.
You want
to
just
play it off, you know?
You want to share information. You want to, but you have to do it in a certain way. That's what I think it is.
So he did say that like he turned down $50 million 4 different times and he got to tell P. Diddy no and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But this one.
What, Cat Williams said that?
Yeah. So during the Shannon Sharp interview. But this little clip kind of talks about everybody. So he's like, 2024 is going to be like this awakening year where everybody gets in trouble. So it's like, what does Cat Williams know? And he's like, this is the year. This is like God versus not God. And he's like, and we don't care about the guy on the other side, you know?
Okay.
Just listen to the clip. It's kind of interesting.
It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen.
Gee.
And then they chug whiskey for like.
Good for them.
Like, wait, I'm gonna chug some.
Shannon Sharp annoys me, though. I gotta be real.
Yeah, after that, I don't really kind of know where to go. Let me one more time.
Right.
Oh, slip snap.
We good now?
Because the people want to know, well, why would he get blackballed?
Yeah,
oh, because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing,
you will tell it.
No, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that. I value that. I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it.
Okay.
See, he said he even paid for that information. Sure. Right?
Listen, the guy's, he's a weird dude. I definitely am not denying that. The guy's kind of, because the way he talks, his voice, he's squirrely and shit. But like,
he tries to be pretentious. Like, I know more than you
but
do.
That's personality. That's a personality trait. And I'm not going to discredit the quote unquote information that he has just based off he has an annoying personality, right? Like, because that's what I think some people do. Even you said it. You're like, you have a hard time listening to him.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to discredit that the man's probably been to a bunch of parties. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's been around the block.
Seen some pretty crazy shit. And here's the other thing. Puff Daddy, for a long time, was one of the wealthiest producers, if I'm not mistaken. I think Jay-Z took that over as like in the business of rap and hip hop recording.
Well, I mean, Dr. Dre, wasn't he still top dog?
Well, I think they
Bad
all
Boy
have,
Records.
They have their own, record labels.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure after, the late 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s, Puff Daddy was the richest. And I think Jay-Z overtook him.
Man, because like G-Unit, all that Dr. Dre stuff.
Puff Daddy had big Bad Boy Records, right? I'm gonna look that shit up, please, for me, because I'm 99% sure that was the
richest rapper in the 90s.
No, not richest rapper. Richest men in the rap industry in the early 2000s.
He was up there, dude. Like, so for sure. Like,
let's say it's off a little bit. I'm pretty sure it was, but either way, that's not the point. Puff Daddy had tons of connections. We know this. He was involved with everybody, including Justin Bieber, including all these other up and coming artists. Maybe it's an Epstein effect. Maybe that's what Cat's talking about. When he says everybody's going to get exposed, maybe that's because everyone's tied to Puff Daddy in some form or another. And if Puff goes down and the houses are raided and the documents are released, that might knock off. That is a domino effect for the whole rap industry. And I think that's what's scary to them.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that because, he did touch a lot of, no pun intended, he did touch a lot of people. But yes, I'm sure like you guys are still looking up the financials and stuff, but while you do that, there's a couple videos that I want to play because this was Justin Bieber. And this is embedded in that InfoWars article, Chris. And this says, remember when Puff Daddy, he was grooming 15-year-old Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
But I want you to play this one. And then play the next one after that.
Can I do this real quick before you jump in these videos? It says right here, Diddy is said to have a whopping net worth of $1 billion. And according to Forbes, made $90 million in 2022 alone. He was trumped to the top spot by fellow rap star and multi-hyphenate mogul Jay-Z. Jay-Z ended up getting 1.5. So he was the top.
As of 2024 or 2023, when this article came out, Jay-Z is $2.5 billion.
Yes. And that has a lot to do with Beyonce as well. But I'm saying Puff Daddy was the top $1 billion in the early 2000s.
I would think that Dr. Dre, with all of his production on the side, and then like Beats by Dre, all of his other stuff.
Yeah. So this list has Jay-Z at number 1 with 2.5 billion. P. Diddy at number 2 with 900 million.
So he went down.
And then Dr. Dre with 500 million.
Yeah.
So, dude.
Puff Daddy
you're right.
Puff Daddy was playing the market. You know what I'm saying? Like he was, listen, I'm not trying to take away his business mogul shit, but he was.
Well, no, because he did. He had like cologne, remember?
He had a bunch of
his like
real estate
clothing line.
He had the Bad Boy Records. He was getting artists. He was doing all kinds of shit, man. He was doing all kinds, and he made a shit ton after Notorious died. A lot of money, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he was. He was the top
and you
dog.
got to wonder why.
Okay, let's play these beepers.
Well,
man.
So play this first clip, and then right after this is done, play the second clip because it's like, it just doesn't look good next to each other.
Okay. 48 hours. Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose.
Are they on a green screen?
No. They're in a sketchy ass backyard though, bro. For all that money,
that looks fake. Look how clear the background is, and then they're
they're at like some weird, like reserved place where no one can find.
It's
them.
like a gully where they throw all their trash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but keep on playing.
Okay.
But it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go buck full crazy.
Naked.
Butt full?
Buck full crazy. What the
I thought he said butt full.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant.
What
butt
the
full
fuck?
crazy. I like that. Butt full crazy, bro.
He was looking for a way to say it without saying it.
Dude, I would love you guys. That's the prank I want to do on our wives. Go home or go into your room and just say, baby, you ready to get butt full crazy and see. I want the response. Yeah, I want everybody's response. They're going to go, fucking gross. Get out of here, dude. You're sleeping on the couch. Fuck you.
Butt full crazy.
All right, so Bieber looks
so, yeah,
scared.
there's a little bit more to that.
Okay.
And there's logs in the back.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang with some girls.
Man after my heart.
Okay, so let's go get some girls. Okay, and now watch this other clip. So this is
a couple
Diddy
years later,
has Justin Bieber,
right?
Yeah, this
is a little bit later. Because P. Diddy calls out Bieber, says, "You haven't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out."
Oh, okay.
And Justin Bieber's like,
yeah. It's too much of a buttful. You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't want to go butt full this time.
He's like, you filled me up before. I'm done.
Butt empty, please.
Yes.
Everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, what? Isn't that awkward?
It's a little weird. It's like
jealousy.
jealousy.
It's weird. Like, you haven't been calling. He's like, the way he's like, Puff Daddy's standing, like, you haven't been calling me, hanging out like we used to.
Dude, that sounds like an old friend of ours, man.
Well, and then Bieber himself.
You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, walls talk, bro.
You never.
And then Bieber, like,
talk.
especially
Oh
at that time, Bieber was like huge, big.
Oh yeah, he overtook Puffy.
Like he obviously got even bigger since then, but he was, and for him to be so standoffish like that is kind of
well.
Weird
I definitely think that Puffy looked at Bieber as a business opportunity, as a way of making money, and obviously he was the whole Usher thing is true. Usher is the one that got Bieber started. So he felt maybe entitled to some of that wealth. You know what I'm saying? Because without Usher, I mean, without Puff Daddy, there'd be no Usher. Without Usher, there'd be no Bieber. So that guy's a fucking creep, though, man.
But it is creepy. Because you're like, wait, what did they used to do when they hung out?
Yeah.
Like, was Bieber bubbered?
Was butt?
You know what I mean? Was he blubbered?
Blubber Bieber. Okay.
There's been talks like that Justin Bieber was like molested and stuff. Dude.
Well, I mean, it sounds like they had a butt full of fun.
Yeah, I don't know about fun for who, but that video, there was the other video of Bieber who, when he was on talk shows and different award shows, and they're touching his arms and listen, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure, again, I don't know the extent, maybe nothing happened, but he at least was offered things. I bet you know what I'm saying? And hopefully for his sake, he didn't do anything or wasn't exposed to that, but it's highly likely he was. The industry's gross, man. And
it makes you, because we just talked about like Nickelodeon on the last one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about like how Justin Timberlake kind of turned out normal, seemingly so, right?
Yeah.
And you have like Christina Aguilera, seemingly kind of normal, in her own way, but
or they hide it better.
Yeah.
Or maybe they grew to like it. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there
because that does happen
like
too. Like they're like, especially if you experience trauma growing up, you tend to like crave that kind of shit later on.
Well, that's what pedos become pedos, dude.
Yeah.
That's why Drake was texting minors again, and he admitted to that in the documentary.
Yeah,
because and that's I'm just saying, to your point, when you are molested or when you have things happen to you as a child, you tend to repeat that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But to Flex's point, that's in the comments, guys, and if you're on Patreon, I appreciate it. But he says, we know this stuff for over 4 years. I'm laughing that people think this is new. We don't think this is new. What is new is the Puff Daddy stuff. And I know we're getting sidetracked with Bieber.
Yeah.
But what that is bringing to the table has to terrify a lot of fucking people.
Well, yeah, because people start going after Puff Daddy, you're going after the fucking top.
One of the top.
Dude.
At least
well,
one.
And
Yeah,
then
at
you
least
guys
one
remember? Do you guys remember Coolio?
Oh yeah.
Right before he died,
Yeah.
he said he was going to expose the Illuminati, and they went after his son, and they were going after his family and shit.
Yeah.
He said that he was like offered gay shit, and he's like, dude, I'm not. I was like, what are you talking about? Like talking this gay shit.
Yeah.
Like kissing other men and all that stuff. Coolio was like talking about that in interviews.
And see, and to your point earlier, man, like, you know, who's believable, who's not believable. I think at this stage, and it's the same thing with the whole like Me Too, right? Like you can't just outright believe everybody because some people are full of shit.
Yeah.
But like when there's enough people that have some exposure in the rap industry or in certain industries and there's talking, you need to put it as a collective and go like, man, like something's up. You know, whether Coolio's 100% accurate or maybe he was a little bit paranoid. Who the fuck knows, right? If Cat might be just paranoid or maybe he's fucking psychotic and weird. But they're all saying very similar things. And Puff Daddy especially he's come out of the mouth of many people for a long time.
And then Puff Daddy actually has legal cases against him for this.
But I'm talking about
so,
like,
that's a little bit more credible too.
Charlemagne the God or whatever, like his podcast. Yeah. I mean, there's been many, many rappers on there on his show talking about the stuff with Puff Daddy and the weird shit that's gone on. And so that's not really new. But the fact that we're actually seeing maybe something like where, listen, his house is raided.
Right?
Yeah, like we didn't know that was going to happen. And what does that open up? Because we all know that Jay-Z's fucking weird. We know Beyonce's pretty fucking weird, right? And they have their own shit. Like,
dude, if those two go down,
oh my God.
Like that is like those two are like the king and queen of the rap game.
True. Well, and if Puff Daddy ends up going down, who else does that bring into the picture?
Well, if you notice,
especially in the music industry,
Beyonce went recently with her new album, which, listen, I don't care for it in general, but she went a little more like clean.
Country?
Well, country-ish. I don't like calling that country. It's not, but she's, to be fair, she's from Texas. And
she's
so
from Houston.
She's from Houston. So she's obviously got a little country in her, I imagine. But my point is you notice how she's re-imaged herself recently, right? And it's almost, when I look at that, I go, why would you do that, right? I know you haven't been as relevant, but you're still huge. You sell arenas all over the place. Why are you re-imaging to yourself this more wholesome country? Like, you know, it's not this. Is it because
she wants that album of the year, bro?
Well, no. Well, is it
Taylor
that?
Swift keeps on stealing it from her?
Sure. Is it that?
Beyonce had the best album of the year before.
I know.
Yeah, well,
come on now.
Listen, I don't think Taylor. But
that's another thing too. Is like Kanye, all the shit that Kanye has been talking about too. It's like, you know, Kanye has been out there saying, hey, I got God on or Jesus is, you know, Christ saves and all this stuff, or like Christ is king. And like, remember the interview of him in the car where he was accusing Michael Jordan of sacrificing family members, Shaquille O'Neal.
I don't remember
He named off a list of different people. He's like, all these people, Dr. Dre, Michael Jordan, you know, Bill Cosby.
Yes,
he was talking about all these people saying, hey, to get in this game, you got to, you know, make some sacrifices.
I don't know, man. Look, I think one thing I will say is I don't buy it. I don't buy that from him. There's a lot of things I think he's onto, or maybe has exposed pieces of the sports thing, like those guys.
The Kanye guy?
Listen, Shaq, Michael Jordan. Let's just use those because you just brought those up, right? Unlike the where, you know, with the movie industry, the music industry, where there's a million options, okay? And we all know, and you know, especially because we love music, right? You listen to something on the radio and you're like, why is that on the radio? Like, it's not a good song. There's way better songs. Why is that? But why is this person all of a sudden the biggest person out of nowhere? But with sports like Michael Jordan, right? You can't just fake a guy that can score that much. You can't fake that athleticism. You can't fake Shaq. Shaq dominated, period. He dominated. And you can't just be like, we're going to let you dominate. No, he fucking dominated, right? Unlike the music industry.
No,
I know.
Like, I don't think he was saying that.
What was he saying?
He was saying, like, I think he was just saying that in this industry, you got to do that stuff no matter what, whether you're talented or not. Like, it's just part of the game.
Maybe to some extent. I haven't seen it leak, in my personal opinion. I haven't seen it leak over into and I'm sure it has. I'm not saying it hasn't, but into the sports world. And you know, I do take offense because Shaq is one of those guys that I actually really do like a lot. I think can be an asshole, which I think is fine, but that dude does a lot of good things for people. I'm talking an insane amount of good shit for people, man.
Yeah, he didn't say that Shaq sacrificed anybody. He just basically said that he was owned.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I want to believe that they're not. I want to believe that not all these great people are just owned by somebody.
Well, Kanye's said a lot of crazy shit.
He has.
So, I mean, he's not like, that's what I'm saying. Like Cat Williams, like Kanye, like there's a lot of people saying some crazy shit.
Yeah,
so
I know.
If it comes true, like this Diddy raid and all that stuff seemingly is coming true, then it's like, okay, then what else are they right about?
Well, I think when you look at Puff Daddy at the whole, like this has been so obvious for so long. Like it's actually more shocking that it hasn't happened a long time ago. There's been too many accusations. There's been too many people in the industry talking about the gross shit this guy does to people. It's kind of like R. Kelly. How did R. Kelly do what he did for so fucking long? Pissing on chicks, fucking hooking up with underage girls. Everybody knew it. Everybody saw it. And the same with Weinstein or where the fuck.
Well, same thing with Epstein, dude.
Exactly.
Like, remember John McCain's wife saying, hey, everybody knew what he was doing?
Yeah.
It's like, what? Yeah. Everybody knew what Epstein was doing?
Yeah.
And no one stopped him?
And how guilty does that make them? You know, at the end of the day, if I know
and
that
you had the capability of doing something about it.
Well, I mean, if any of us had a friend and we knew that guy was doing some gross shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're guilty for not saying something. You would be guilty for not saying something. Like if you know that he's doing something, you don't turn him into the police or you don't fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like you're just as guilty. So some of these people like that, who were you talking about this saying that they knew this for a long time? Bitch, you're guilty. You know what I'm saying? You're guilty. In my opinion, you're fucking guilty. You didn't stop it. How many people got hurt?
At the very least, in the court of public opinion, you're guilty.
Yeah, I think you're gross. Because people were victimized.
Just all the signs, dude. Like you were saying, Love Air LLC.
Yeah.
I mean, that could just be like him being like, yeah, I like women, dude. I make love in the air.
Dude, I don't mind if you like to fuck. I really don't.
But when you find out about all this shit and then like his LLC for his plane is Love Air and then like just what else is gonna be weird that was probably a sign that he's doing weird shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He liked a buck, dude. He want buck full.
Buck full. That's a shirt right there, dude. Buck full, man.
Buck full.
Fucking buck full today, baby.
Get some.
Jesus Christ.
Diddy
you know, it's
buck.
hard when you're
Diddy
that
buck.
Buck Diddy, bro.
Buck Diddy.
Dude, when you're that fucking wealthy, the fact that the fear of having that all topple away and be gone is probably he's got to be in the most panicked position anybody's ever been.
Dude. Have you seen the videos of him?
Yeah.
There's videos of him like on phone calls where he's like has his hands all lit through his head and he's like, oh my God.
Yeah, because like that wealth is not always going to fix your problems. You know what I'm saying? Now we do know that some people get away with shit because they're wealthy.
Yeah.
But I hope that's not the case for him, man. I mean, Weinstein or whatever went to prison, right? He's serving time. He's still in prison, man. He didn't get away with it because he was wealthy. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that Puff Daddy is not going to get away with the shit he did because he did victimize a lot of people, man.
Yeah. Fucking Danielson in the chat here a while back, like right as we started, said apparently what's her name? Maxwell got moved to a different cell just recently too. Like she must be talking. She got moved to like a better cell or more comfortable cell.
What does that imply?
Well,
like
I mean, the only way
so
I feel like if you're in
See?
jail for that kind of shit, the only way you're going to get perks is if you give up stuff, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. And we talked about that. Yeah. Like, because Ghislaine is the bird who sings, when does a bird sing when they get caged up, all that shit.
At a certain point, I'm just giving up on it, though, because I'm like, man.
Giving up on what?
I'm just like, is she really going to say anything,
Well, how do we know that this shit coming out amongst other people isn't from information being brought by previous?
Yeah, I mean, it's speculation, but it could be.
It could be. Listen, it absolutely can be, could be. I get that. But with Puff Daddy, I'm not tying those two together because I feel like Puff Daddy is his own Epstein.
Well, there is pictures.
Well, there's so many other sources too.
Yeah, there is a bunch of pictures of, not a bunch, but there is a picture of him with Rachel Chandler.
Yeah. Listen.
Puff Daddy?
Yeah, so that kind of ties them all together.
Whoa.
Yeah.
When is this? When?
Yeah. Is that real?
I think it's real.
Here, I'm going to look that up.
I just fucking seen it.
Rachel Chandler, Puff Daddy.
Man, the cops had guns blazing, bro.
She was with everybody. She was with Paris Hilton. Oh yeah, I did see it. It's right here.
Yeah,
all,
bookmark it real quick. Because I seen it a little bit
second.
ago, but it's way down on my feed, I think.
Dude, so there's a couple of
Hold on.
images here.
I love the trending section, even though this is outdated now. Epstein, Satan, Cat Williams, the Diddler. Like, what a fucking lineup, bro. What a fucking lineup.
Danielson said the Diddler was trending on Twitter too. Epstein is trending again, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I bookmarked it. There's a
Bill Clinton, obviously.
Yeah.
Puff Daddy.
There he is.
That's her?
Paris Hilton.
Apparently.
Wait, go back real quick, man.
And then whoever this dude is.
I don't know. Is that her?
That's her, dude.
That looks like just a basic ass white girl, man. I gotta be honest with
That's
you.
her. Put sunglasses on.
I think it's her. She just has a bandana on.
Let me see that shit.
Like the nose, the eyes, the face.
Wait. Yeah.
Face structure looks like her.
So, I mean,
I don't know, man. I'm not sold on that photo. You know how many white women that guy has photos with?
Well, yeah.
And like, I just want to be honest. Look at the age of those photos. And then that one is so much older looking. Like she just.
It's older looking.
Look at all these photos, man. Even that one, Bill's old.
No, it was kind of old looking.
Yeah.
But I mean,
looks
Puff
like it's
Daddy's
fucking the late
pictured,
90s.
He's been pictured with so many people. Does that make them
that's early
like
2000s.
It doesn't make, you're right, Greg. It doesn't. It does not.
Because I mean, I'm looking at a post right now where he's standing next to Barack Obama and he's sitting down with him in the White House.
Wow, Barack Obama.
But Michelle
he
Obama
probably loved
once
Big Mike.
praised.
He probably,
well, yeah, Big Mike said that Harvey Weinstein was a wonderful human being.
Well, Big Mike filled Puffy up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bet you.
They went buck full.
She wanted that PD. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Buck Diddy.
Oh my goodness! I bet you she's fucked Puff Daddy, Big Mike,
Puff Buck,
and fucking old Barack was fucking over there. Just he's in the corner, dude. He was doing that whole jerk and watch. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, here's another couple that I wonder if it's gonna get caught into this, dude. What about John Legend?
Go ahead.
What about John Legend and his wife, freaking Chrissy Teigen, dude?
Yeah, man. Sure.
Remember, because like they have been caught up in this whole thing in the background
for a while,
for a very long time.
Well, because she just fucking talks and she just
does weird shit.
She says dumb shit all the time, man.
Well, she had dirty ass tweets.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Well, she said weird shit just on camera and on like red carpet shit. And like,
if you look at influence, I think that's where it comes out. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Chrissy Teigen or John Legend. They're both influential to some extent, right? But when you really look at like the Epsteins or the Puff Daddies, right, you're talking about the top of the food chains. Puff Daddy, like, just like Epstein, probably has blackmailed people, and I'm sure he has documentation that's going to, like, I don't know if John Legend and Chrissy Teigen went down, like how many people come because of them, whereas Puff Daddy brings, I think, a trove of guilty people. That's how I feel about it. And I bet you it's not just sexual shit. Like, there's probably gun running. There's probably, trafficking shit. I'm sure he's done that shit. I'm sure if you think of all like fraud shit, like I'm sure he has, with that much money and like that kind of, I just think that there's way more to this for sure.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I just don't know if Chrissy Teigen would that move a needle? We'd all be like,
I think John Legend would though.
You think? I just don't like value him that much. Maybe he is more.
No, but a lot of people think that he's like a good guy. You know what I mean? So
you're talking about
shocking, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be shocking. I'm talking not the shocking aspect.
Well, I don't know if it would definitely put more weight on the needle that's already there.
Sure, I agree with that. 100%. Yeah. I just meant, does he have people under him that are significant that would go down with him? That's what I'm trying to say. Puff Daddy has people under him that are very significant that would go down with him. I don't know if John Legend's in that same ballpark. That's what I guess I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It would be a victory.
I could see, maybe John Legend takes on people under his wing to be like, hey, come over and we'll do some vocal lessons. I can, maybe sign you. I don't know.
Do you think John Legend throws his wife under the bus if she ever went down with something? Do you think he just it's like, fuck this, I ain't going down with this shit?
Yeah.
Or maybe he.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. She's not worth it.
Yeah.
He's like, no, that bitch is crazy.
I don't know. I don't know if it would be like, say, like John Legend or anybody really, unless you go like Jay-Z or like we were talking about like the big shots of that industry and big shots. Like, I don't know. I think it will probably, if there's more people included in this and there's more people on the end of this bullshit that's happening right now, I have a feeling it's not going to be huge news that this person is or this person is. I think it's going to be in a culmination of like, there are so many people involved in this. I think that's going to be the big thing.
Well,
the collectiveness.
The problem is like everything else, man. Like when you have a large amount of something like going on, like you forget about the smaller ones and you really remember the big ones, the big hits, right? And so like if Chrissy Teigen was to go down and John Legend goes down, you know, in 5 years, you're going to talk about Puff Daddy. And you're going to talk about the Jay-Z's or the big ones. And then, oh, yeah, I remember Chrissy Teigen. Yeah, that chick was great, you know.
But
so
going back to the list, though, and going back to like Ghislaine Maxwell, what if P. Diddy is part of like the blacklist, like part of like this, I'm on the blacklist, you know what I mean? And we're just going down the chain here. We're going to pick them off one by one because there's like actors.
Yeah.
The movie stars.
Very
singers,
possible,
all
man.
that stuff.
You're not, I don't think you're off on that.
Like he's like just one of the ones that they're starting to pick people off now.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if he was on like Lolita Express, all that stuff, like going over to the island. But
the only thing is, you know, the same thing you said, right? Is like that is very possible, but in Puff Daddy's situation, there's so much evidence already there that like it's likely that his is his own case because it's so big, you know. And if it was tied and there were connections that were made, that would even be bigger news, right? Because you're like, holy, two superpowers are fucking in on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I'm wondering, like, because both houses were raided at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, this is obviously a coordinated effort between Homeland Security here to find out something. I mean, hopefully, for God's sakes, they're trying to find out something and not hide something.
Yeah, to be able to like time out your raid at both his houses at the exact same simultaneously. Let's go, everyone, go now. You're like you're on a fucking mission. There's some exact thing you're going after.
Yeah. This
but
could
to
be
Dave's point, though.
Go ahead, man.
Because this is seemingly isolated. What if that's the way they want this to look like? So they can sever it, cut it off like at the freaking the toenail, so that way it doesn't infect the whole body.
I'm not saying I've ever watched it because I have not, but from my understanding of Game of Thrones, it's multiple tribes, right, trying to vie for power. What if Epstein was the elite side of this? What if Puff Daddy was the hip hop culture side of this?
He was like the Lannisters or something.
Well, no, I'm saying like, listen, we all understand.
He was just one. He was just one of the multi factions.
Listen, we have a very like not device. That's wrong. We have a very like cliquey culture, right?
Yeah.
We have the hip hop culture, we have the rock culture, we have the elites culture, we have the working man. What if like, you know, he's running it? They're all part of the same thing, the same brain, right? But he's running the hip hop side of it.
All the tentacles of the same octopus.
The Billionaires was ran by Epstein. What if Garth Brooks is on the fucking countryside of shit? What if fucking, you know, because Garth Brooks is weird. Let's be real. I mean, that guy's
there is the Garth Brooks is a serial killer.
Well, he's fucked a kid.
You know,
I know it. I know it, man.
Wait a
Friends
second.
in low places.
Say that, Dave. We can't say
Friends
that.
in low places, man. That's you know.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, hey, who's the one saying we can't just throw around accusations?
Whatever.
Like Tom Hanks.
He's fucked a kid. I know it.
Now he doesn't care. Well, so
no, listen. I'm joking.
His
but
name isn't Garth Brooks. Okay, it's Chris Gaines.
Chris Gaines.
All right. So let's get this.
Oh yes.
His alter ego is emo.
Yeah,
alter
but he
ego.
went alt for a little
Something's
while.
off about that man, though. I'm not denying he's got good music. I think he has great country songs back in the day. I'm not denying, but there's something off about that guy for many, many fucking years. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm not claiming that he actually did something. I'm just saying he's off. There's something off. And he, you remember that whole thing where they're tracing his shit?
Yeah, people went missing.
Where
Like in
he
the exact
toured,
same places.
people
where he
went
toured.
missing and died and shit. And so, like that, I know Tom Segura was making a joke out of it, and he actually got so pissed at Tom, he like blocked his ass and was telling him he was going to sue him. But my point is the man's weird. And like, so all I'm asking is there a chance that like, because think about this, Lost Prophets, right? Remember that guy? The fucking band Lost Prophets. That guy did some insane shit to people, like kids. Absolutely gross.
Well, and the mom let him.
But what I'm saying is every industry, every market, because they're all different markets in some aspect, probably have their kingpin. You know what I'm saying? And is this a situation where this is another head of the monster? You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Well, dude, and that's the argument that, is Trump a kingpin of his own market? And he wants, not saying like a bad market, like a pedo something, But like, does he know all this stuff because he is a kingpin of his own market and he's coming in being like, hey, I know what these guys do over here. I know, I know where they're trying to skirt under the rug with these rules and with these freaking perversions.
Well, that's kind of what we talked about in the past, right? Where Trump was kind of the Bruce Wayne, the Batman, where he was the guy at the parties watching and listening. And Cat Williams just said the same thing, where he would go to these things and he knew he would get the information. He'd watch the people and he'd see him in these positions and he'd just gather intel.
Well, and that's honestly, the Game of Thrones reference is like spot on, because there was a guy, he was called a Munich or something because he had his penis cut off.
The bald guy.
And all he would do is go around and collect information.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was the Cat Williams of Game of Thrones.
I will say this. One thing that makes me kind of believe that maybe they aren't tied. Like maybe there is not a tie. And I think it has like a mob style. When you have a mob and you're the head of a mob and there's different mobs, right? Italian mob, the French mob, the fucking, Chinese mob. Like they may bump shoulders, right? Like they may work together in certain aspects, but they don't like each other because one takes away from another. You know what I'm saying? Like one person wants more power. And if Epstein's running this and P. Diddy's running something over here, like he doesn't like Epstein because he's taken,
Sure, dude.
So like, I don't think that if that was the case, I definitely don't think that they would like each other, but I'm sure that they've maybe talked. That's why you've seen them at parties together. Maybe that if that was her, that they've mingled, they have discussed things like, how do you do it? What do you do? This is what I do. Maybe.
Well, they're all following the same rules. Like they're playing one gigantic game.
Yeah.
They're trying to like keep it private. So that way it's not like in the public, because everybody knows everyone has dirt on everybody.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like a blackmail game. So it's like, how can we get away with, I'm going to take over this territory and you're going to let me because we have this guy coming out and he's going to spill the beans on your kingpin, that kind of thing.
I like Ban says there was a French mob. I don't know. I literally made that up at the time. I
probably.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
It was, yeah.
Oui.
Dude, listen, I didn't hear the raid. I was at work all day, so I didn't catch that. But I'm very happy about it. I got to be honest with you. I'm really, really happy about it because there was a piece of me for a while that was just like, is he too powerful? You know what I mean? Like in the music industry, is he too much? Like, are they going to find any?
Well, we'll see what happens, dude.
We'll see what happens. But the fact that he's seemingly running, it seems like he is.
If he's not, this is a very bad predicament he put himself in.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, right. His private jet. Let's send my private jet to the Caribbeans, and then I'll just hang out and go on another private jet.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
It just shows a little bit of sign of guilt. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh boy,
I bet he ran.
He probably has money offshores, bro. I mean,
he was getting to run. He was getting ready to run. That's what they said.
Yeah.
And then the cops detained him at that airport.
And Puff Daddy seems like a bitch, bro. Puff Daddy seems to be the guy that would squeal. You know what I'm saying? Like he definitely seems like
I was going to say that earlier.
That motherfucker's a snitch, bro. I guarantee it. Like no one trusts Puff Daddy, but he's just gonna rat them all out because he's a fucking bitch. You know what I mean?
I bet.
Should we start calling him Buck Daddy?
Buck Daddy.
Bitch Daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Bitch.
Old bitch Daddy.
Well, because he likes his nipples pinched. I mean, come on.
I know. Old bitch tits over here. Fucking old nips.
If he starts to actually, like, if they arrest him, and like this actually escalates into a actual thing, do you think he does squeal? Honestly,
I think so. I think more than other because I don't. Yeah, I do.
If there is a bigger ring of this going on, at least in the music industry part of it.
Yeah.
Do you think he just starts, fuck, I'm losing everything. If I can keep all my livelihood, everything, like
he's not going to keep his livelihood.
I'll give you anything.
He's not going to but if he can get out of it I think he snitches and he moves because he has so much money. They'd say, go to the Caribbean. Fucking, you know what I mean? But he'd fucking die.
Well, do you think that it's actually going to happen under Biden, or do you think that it'll take Trump being in office for all of these people to be like arrested? And all
I don't even think it would take if Trump was even in office. I think this kind of shit takes time anyway. So this time next January, none of this is gonna, like, if they arrest him, none of it's gonna be done.
That's assuming Trump wins, right? Like, and
even if he doesn't win, it doesn't matter. None of this with Puff Daddy is gonna be done and concluded before then.
But he's
okay.
Greg is saying under
like,
Biden administration would this go?
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying like the list of like the Epstein's client list, and how like all of these people are supposed to be arrested. There's supposed to be like this big awakening. Like Cat Williams even just talked about it. Like the revelation's going to happen in 2024. It's like, is that really going to happen? Will the Biden administration allow that to happen?
Well, that's two different things. So a revelation of information and people understanding what's going on is different than the repercussions.
Oh, like the truth is coming out in 2024. Yeah.
I didn't even read Cat like that. I feel like Cat was just saying like there's going to be a lot of these people that, you know, have been talked about are going to go down for it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what he said. They're going to go down.
I know, but
and
like,
so I took go down as being, well, yeah, they're going to be arrested and tried.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's not what it means.
Yeah, I think they're going to, well, I want to say they're going to get exposed, but like, again, he's been exposed. This is nothing new. Like Puff Daddy has been talked about for years as being a fucking creep, you know?
But you know, you take down the head.
Yeah, but
that leads to many
being exposed as being a creep and being like, maybe he does weird shit to now, if now feds are raiding his fucking houses and he's running. Those are different fucking things.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. Because you have to pay for the crimes that you commit, man. And if we just let people go and he just lives a great life being a fucking billionaire almost, you know what I mean? Like, what does that say to other people, right? And
well, that's what people are waiting for. They're waiting for justice.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I mean? Like, there's this obvious deep state, if you want to say, it's just so cliche right now, but there's this obvious corruption that's happening where people are getting away with doing things that we know are incorrect. They're they're wrong. They're unconstitutional.
Yeah.
And they're just getting away with it.
Yep. They are.
And it's like, it's the black pill thing where it's like nothing's going to happen. It's like now things are finally starting to happen, it seems like.
Well, if you can control the heads of institutions, you can control.
And I don't want to get too like high on my hopes. And sorry to cut you off there, Chris, but I don't want to like get too like, things are starting to happen. You know, it's happening. It's like, it's Puff Daddy. We'll see.
Well, I just look at it like this. This is where I'll end it for me. Is that like, I definitely think Puff Daddy's going to face consequences for what he's done. I definitely think that. I definitely think the man's going to go to prison for some of the shit he's done. I'm not convinced that anybody else significant is going to necessarily go down with him. You know what I mean? I just feel like even with Epstein, it's been years, man, now. It's been years. You know what I'm saying? And we still have this like, the information's coming. Remember that?
Well, that's
a couple months back,
wondering.
dude. A couple months back, like, the fucking documents are coming, dude, and everybody's really excited. We were excited.
Well, that's why I'm wondering if Puff Daddy's tied to the Epstein thing in some weird way.
Maybe. I'm just how long? Listen, we know it takes a long time, and we've argued that before. But like, come on, 2 years, 3 years? I mean, think of how long ago this shit was being discussed. Think how long ago Epstein was actually like. Come on.
It depends how high profile shit is, dude.
Yeah, but
because stuff could take a long fucking time.
Yeah, but not. Come on, man. Like, in what situation in history has taken this long? Anything? Like, I'm talking about.
I told that story a while back where a guy got proved his innocence after fucking 5 or 8 years in fucking prison.
Proved innocence, though. I understand that.
I know, but the whole process took that fucking long.
Yeah, but that's a different. Once you're already found guilty, like actually, like trying to get innocence it's very different. That's not the same thing. That's not how this is like. You're already back to the wall in that situation. You know what I mean? But like the mob bosses, all the takedown of like the mob was a big fucking thing.
How long did that take?
They were, what I'm saying is they were like, whoever it was that was running that shit, like they were being arrested. There wasn't this like 3 years, like he was arrested in 3 years all of a sudden. No, those mobs, they were getting taken down. They were raiding all the mobs within weeks. They were like, this guy was getting down. This guy was
but how long were they building up before then?
Well, they were doing undercover shit, but that's not the point. They were arrested.
Was the mob backed by another country, though? Like, let's be honest.
Chris.
Like, Epstein worked for Israel, right?
Yeah.
What I'm saying
is a Mossad agent?
Yeah. You're talking about them doing investigations and like undercover shit.
No, that's how they get information is they arrest certain people, they get information, they arrest more people, they get information. And then they can start getting to the top of the thing.
I know, but once the heads were, listen, if you're talking about that, I agree with you to an extent. But like, once the bosses were arrested, You know what I'm saying? They were all started getting arrested. We've already arrested the boss. He's dead.
How do you know that?
He's dead. Epstein is dead.
Who says he was the boss?
I'm not saying he was. Listen,
he may have been the facilitator. That doesn't mean he was the boss.
A lot of people said that Ghislaine was the boss, though.
I don't know. I don't know the fucking table of fucking shit for all this. So who's higher than who?
But listen, I don't think that the mob bosses were the top of the food chain, but that's not my point. I think that they were probably helped by the government, if you want my honest opinion.
Probably.
That's not my point, though. They were all taken down at the same time. They were arrested, and others were arrested immediately after. You know what I'm saying? There was a fucking, you know what I mean? We've seen Epstein get arrested, die. Ghislaine has now been in prison. Nothing. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, man. Like, we're talking years now. Like, come on. Like,
what I hope, though, is like that the person at the top actually does crumble. Because that is, I think, where all of this starts to cycle again. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like the person at the top is never accountable.
Yeah.
Because no one even knows who the fucking person at the top is.
It's the government.
You never will know.
It's the government.
Yeah. It's like part of governments. It's part of foreign states, governments, and all that stuff. Right?
It's
what?
I said it's Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Joe Biden's at the top of everything.
He's
right?
piece of it.
No, guaranteed Joe Biden.
But that's what's the problem, dude. Is like you have all of these people get in trouble. And it's like even when the mob went down, like who was behind the mob? Who was funding the mob? Do we ever know? Like, was it the government? Were they allowing the mob to brew so that way they could take some of the money and then allow like the justification for the FBI, the CIA?
Yep.
Like it gives them justification allowing the mob. Same thing with all of like fucking ISIS, MS-13. Yep. It gives us a reason to have these federal agencies.
The government benefited from all those things.
Oh,
they did.
Yeah.
They did. So you could argue that
the government benefits from terrorism.
Exactly. I just I'm sick of this shit lasting so long. I just want to see them all go down. You know, and I think everybody does, but that's where I'm black-pilled, if you want to call it that, right? Like I'm just like, I'm shooting for a victory anywhere. That's what I'm at. Like if Puffy goes down and goes to jail, that's a victory. You know what I mean? Like, is it going to be this tale of all these other things? I don't know. I doubt it, man. But one person going down this evil is a victory. And that's how I just look at it. You know, I'm not expecting this big conglomerate of fucking people to go down. I just don't expect that, you know? And I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's right. I wish that was not the case, but that's
no, I think that's the good spot to be in. I don't think we should expect a large portion of people to get in charge of this, but like, I do think that, a win is a win. You know, bad guys get arrested. They get what they see coming. You know, they get bucked.
I feel like
and granted, nothing has actually happened to Puff Daddy. He hasn't been actually charged with anything. No. He hasn't actually been arrested.
Disclaimer.
As far as I know
this is the Christopher disclaimer, dude.
But I mean, it looks like it's trending that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dave did say Garth Brooks fucked a kid.
Garth Brooks. Oh,
isn't his name Garth Brooks?
Yeah. He does. He just seems like a diddler, bro. He does. I'm sorry. You can look at somebody and go, I don't want my kids around that guy. And that's how I feel about Garth Brooks.
But yeah, that's some crazy shit. We'll see where it goes.
For sure, man.
Ooh.
It's fun, dude. It's fun.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just like this all just happened today. So yeah, it's just, let's wait a little bit. I mean, Puff Daddy was not in cuffs.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody recorded him just walking around.
Well, that was earlier before the raid even happened.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to that picture in handcuffs, man. Old Cuffy Combs, dude. You know what I mean?
Cuffy Combs.
Yeah. Cuffy Combs. Combs and cuffs.
Good one, man. I like this, man. I like this. I like seeing some progress, whether it's, enough or not. There's progress being made.
Well, and it's nice having stuff happen again in the news, because I remember 2020 was like this. Like every freaking week we had something to talk about.
I know, big shit to talk about.
Well, I think it's we're getting closer and closer to the election, so I think it's going to be a weekly thing where shit's going to happen.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
So.
Fingers crossed, man.
We shall see.
Love you guys. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Sorry I was late, but
cheers.
Glad to be here.
All right, later, guys.